Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Gita, chapter number 2, text number 12. Natveva jatunasam natvaneeme janadipah nachaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayam mata param. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Purport. In the Vedas, in the Katha Upanishad, as well as in the Shvetasvatara Upanishad, it is said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a maintainer of innumerable living entities in terms of their different situations according to their individual work and reactions of God. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is also by His plenary portions alive in the heart of every living entity. Only saintly persons who can see within and without the same Supreme Lord can actually attain to perfect and eternal peace. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko yo bhavanam viditati kam kamatmastamya upasyanti dhiras tesham shanti shashvati netaresam. The same Vedic truth given to Arjuna is given to all persons in the world who pose themselves as very learned but factually have little but poor fund of knowledge. The Lord says clearly that He Himself, Arjuna, and all the kings who are assembled on the battlefield are eternally individual beings, and that the Lord is eternally the maintainer of the individual living entities, both in their condition and in their liberated situations. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is a supreme individual person, and Arjuna, the Lord's eternal associate, and all the kings assembled there are individual eternal persons. It is not that they did not exist as individuals in the past, and it is not that they will not remain eternal persons. Their individuality existed in the past, and their individuality will continue in the future without interruption. Therefore, there is no cause for lamentation. I'll read the remaining purport later. Omajnanatimirandasya jnananjanashalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकं मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवश्री गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. मुखं करोति वाचालं पुंगं लंघयते गिरं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं. हरे कृष्ण. Dear devotees, nice to see you after 2 days. 2 days seems to be a very long time. By the blessing and the mercy of the spiritual master and the acharyas, very fortunate to get reconnected. Bhakti pareshanubhav anyantarasta. This bhakti is a very sublime process. When a sadhaka gets asakti towards bhakti, anyattara, the other things will be other only. That means they don't give any ruchi to the heart. Bhakti means cultivation of heart. You actually see the discussion which we went through few days back. Text number 11, where the Lord is telling very clearly that Ashoshan Anvashoshan Pragnavadan Subhashish Gatasunsa Manasotanti Pandita. Now, to the words of Arjuna, now Lord, generally we don't see Lord or great personalities responding like that. Now, immediately a question will come, why is the Supreme Personality of Godhead is responding like that? Dear devotees, 1 second, give me one. Krishna is telling Arjuna that why are you lamenting for that which you are not supposed to lament? Generally, we see in this world. I'll give a practical example. Generally, what happens is if somebody is telling anything to other person, let's say I told you something, then what generally happens is the person who is telling the other person feels offended. Why? Because this person is telling something to the other person. So the other person, when the other person will be happy, this person should tell him sorry. Then that the other person will be happy. So until you tell that sorry, other person will never be happy. So when you think about it, that means where are we looking happiness in this world? That means if somebody is respecting us, in that we are looking happiness. That means if, let's say, if I'm not respecting you, that means your happiness is dejected, your happiness is no longer there. That means where where are we dependent on the happiness? We are depending happiness on the other person's words. That means if the other person is not there, that means we are not happy. That means what is that indicating? That means our state of consciousness is dependent on the other person's behavior. But if this is the case, then that's a big problem. For example, if he behave, generally in this material world, nobody will behave correctly. There's always topsy-turvy. There's always uncertainty because everyone is affected with modes of material nature. Trigunas are working with everyone. So through that, it's a very clear indication that the other person cannot satisfy. He cannot satisfy himself. How can he satisfy the other person? So technically, if I am depending on the other person's reciprocation, for example, other person is not respecting, that means how does the heart react? Are we dejected? That's exactly what is happening here. Now, what I am telling is here ours is a very surface level thing. Here Arjuna's is a deeper thing. Arjuna he spoke all those beautiful words, but he is able to figure it out that these beautiful words which are coming out from me, those are words of dharma only. The words of dharma is not giving satisfaction to him. Please understand, this is very important. If the words of dharma is not satisfying him, then where do he go? Where does he go? See, dharma should satisfy everyone. If dharma is not satisfying one or the other person, then where does the person would go? What is his state? No, that is a core reason of being depressed in this particular state. Now we see similar depressed state when Yudhishthira Maharaj also. Once the battlefield of Kurukshetra is completed, even though he is victorious, he is lamenting, profusely is lamenting. It's like Arjuna was lamenting before war, Yudhishthira Maharaj is lamenting after war. Now, even when Krishna was about to tell Arjuna was, Duryodhana was, not Duryodhana, Yudhishthira Maharaj was unable to perceive that. Cannot accept those words. Then Krishna, what he does is, he sends this person to Bhishma. Because Krishna knows Bhishma is a perfect person to tell Yudhishthira Maharaj, because Bhishma has intimate relationship with Yudhishthira Maharaj. Just like Arjuna has intimate relationship with Krishna, Yudhishthira Maharaj has intimate relationship with Bhishma. Now here Prabhupada clearly mentions Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he exactly knows where the medicine is. Now that is the whole point. Now, whole point of what? Krishna is a master of everyone, right? Bhoktaram Yajnadamasa. He knows everyone's heart. So he knows where the medicine is also there for a particular person. For Yudhishthira Maharaj, the medicine is not, even Krishna is telling he is unable to actually perceive. But the moment Bhishma Deva told, then he accepted. Now, how come Yudhishthira Maharaj accepted the words of Bhishma Deva, and then how come Yudhishthira Maharaj did not accept the words of Krishna? This is a point of understanding. This is, if we understand this science, dear devotees, then half of our Krishna conscious business, we will know half of the business of Krishna consciousness. Now, please understand this. Ashoshan Anvashosham Pragnavadana Sabhasisa. For example, if this statement is being told to Duryodhana, do you think Duryodhana will accept just like how Arjuna accepted? No, he will not accept. Why? Krishna told to Arjuna that Ashoshan Anvashoshastam. Krishna did not tell to Duryodhana, Ashoshan Anvashoshastam. Why? Krishna has only intimate relationship with Arjuna, not with Duryodhana. Now, a lot of devotees would ask this question. I have been practicing Krishna consciousness, but I am unable to understand. Then we ask, how many years for? He says 10 years, 12 years, still I don't understand. That means 10 years, 12 years, we are not understanding Krishna consciousness. Means the only one solution to that is you never met a person who is really Krishna conscious. If you really met a person who is Krishna conscious, then you'll immediately understand what Krishna consciousness is. That is a core answer. What is the core answer? You did not get that kind of association where you really understand what Krishna consciousness is. Now, why am I telling this is, this to what we discussed is a beautiful connection. Ashoshan Anvashoshastam. When Krishna told to Arjuna, he immediately accepted. Why? Intimate relation. Likewise, dear devotees, if we have intimate relationship to the Vaishnava, to our Acharya, to the Lord, then this truth will be perceived in our heart directly. There is no problem. That means everything you see very clearly. You will not have any problem to perceive anything in your world, in your life. In your world means in your life. What is our world? Our thought process is our world. Is it not? Whatever we are thinking, is that not our world? That is our world. Do we see anything else other than that? Anything else other than that means that is also coming through our thought. That is not independent of the thought. That means we don't see anything in this world independent of what we are learning. For example, if I am learning Krishna consciousness as he is, by the lotus mouth of our acharyas, through their realizations, if you are learning the truth as is, that means whatever you see, you will see as per that only. That means anything independent, you don't see anything independent of that, because you are fully loaded with Krishna consciousness. When your consciousness is fully absorbed in Krishna, in his words, in his instructions, in the words of the acharyas, then whatever you see externally, it's all that only. That means even though you've been sent to Narakaloka, still you will see that only. But to see that, we should be aloof from these anarthas. As Duryodhana is not aloof from the anarthas, Krishna did not speak Ashoshan Anvashosham to Duryodhana. That means technically, Krishna did not give Gita to Duryodhana. That means then immediate question comes to us. Because there's a correlation with Arjuna, there's a correlation with Duryodhana, there's a correlation with everyone actually. We have a correlation with them. That means a Vaishnava should tell to us in such a way that all of these things are connected, not just I learn a shloka. No, I'm not saying I'm not telling that learning shloka is also bad. No, learning shloka is good. But why am I learning? What is the intent of it? Why this shloka is being told? Why Arjuna is lamented? What is the reason of it? And why Krishna did not speak this to Duryodhana? Now, coming again back to this, Krishna did not speak to Duryodhana because Duryodhana's state of consciousness is totally different. So, to the 10 years thing, question, a devotee was asking, dear Prabhu, I am unable to understand means Krishna consciousness up until 10 years means that's a great realization. At least you're honest. You're accepting that I don't understand what Krishna consciousness is. That even after practicing Krishna consciousness for 10 years. But is that not honesty? Now, this honesty is the key to really understand Krishna consciousness. That means Duryodhana doesn't have this. That's why Duryodhana cannot understand Gita. Please understand. He's not honest to himself. When Krishna comes and tells Duryodhana, can you give just 5 villages? He says, I will not even give 5 inches. What to speak of 5 villages? That means he's not in a state of submission. If we are not in a state of submission towards our superiors, then we cannot understand what they are telling. For example, the child doesn't have good rapport with his mother. Do you think that the child will do whatever the mother is telling? He will not do. Because he doesn't have good rapport, good connection with his mother. Let's say mother and father both. If both are telling, he'll not accept it. Why? Because the connection is removed. That means they don't feel that. Just like Duryodhana is not feeling that with the Lord. Likewise, even if you're practicing Krishna consciousness for 10 years, we cannot understand Krishna consciousness because we don't have that connection. We are understanding, but we're not understanding with connection. Please understand. That means if that connection is not there, we can never understand what this is. Doesn't matter if it is 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, doesn't matter. We'll not understand. That means at the time of death also we'll have questions. Do you think Krishna will come and take me? I think this process will not work. That means it will not work. That means the person has to give us that faith. Person has to give us that conviction. When Srila Prabhupada came, why everyone was surrendering just like that? Why everyone was going full time and then serving the mission of Srila Prabhupada very nicely? Now we hardly see anyone going full time and then serving the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Why? There's a connection. We don't feel that connection anymore. Because I was thinking about this. How come those personalities, those wonderful, when Srila Prabhupada came, everyone they surrendered their life. They're actually doing this, they're taking this science very nicely. Now, how is that thing is limited to within a particular family? How are these teachings or this acceptance of the science of Krishna consciousness is not being taken to the level of surrender? Why those things are coming? So, this understanding of Krishna consciousness should be taken very close to the heart. Why those things are not being taken like that? These are the questions which we need to inquire. So even the 10 years, was 10 years not a long time? It's a small time only. But the 10 years, it feels heavy because through the 10 years, we are unable to get the juice from Krishna consciousness. That means we are not relishing the taste or rasa. That means practical experiences we are not feeling. If you are not feeling the practical experiences, then it becomes difficult. When the process becomes bore. Because we cannot practice a science without any reflections. Please understand. But when we hear sincerely, what happens is we get reflections. For sure. I always think about this. Personalities like me, if I'm getting some reflections, but whoever is hearing very sincere, they'll get great reflections. I don't know anything actually. But still I am able to get some reflection if there's a mercy spiritual master. That means if a sadhaka, if they are hearing in that state, what happens is they'll get so their consciousness is opened up so much. Just like Arjuna's consciousness immediately opened up. Dear devotees, within few shlokas we will see Arjuna is out of illusion, out of delusion or whatever you call it. He's completely free because he started asking beautiful questions after this. So through that question, we don't see any grief. Why? Because Krishna is removed. It's dissipated. It's gone. That means the science of Krishna consciousness is a very practical sense. Now it's a very clear indication why Duryodhana is not telling to why Krishna is not telling to Duryodhana and why Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Likewise, if we have the mentality of Duryodhana, we can never understand Gita. That means if you are not submissive, if you are not sincere, if you are not honest, if you are not seeing your heart as is, if you are not keeping your heart internal, external, both same, then it's a problem. If we see a devotee, we should see all, we should get full trace of that devotee. This devotee has done so and so very good quality. He has very good quality. We don't have to tell him, but it has to be in our heart. This devotee has done this service, this service. He did good service to spiritual master. He's continuing to do good service. Through this way, what happens is you have respect to the other person. And not just to the spiritual master, but to his disciples also. That means to our God brothers also. We should have immense respect to them. I remember Ishwara Radhana Swami Maharaj, this one cannot imitate. This is on a very pure plan. This is not for imitation. I'm telling for inspiration. Again, the words from the Acharyas, they're not for imitation. They're to get inspiration. He's offering obeisances to his disciples. Please understand. He's telling you, pray for me, for my upliftment. What is this? He's showing how one should actually cultivate that consciousness. What is he telling? He's offering obeisances to his disciples, and then he's telling you, please pray for me, for my upliftment in Krishna consciousness. To pray for me. What is this? That means he's showing a practical way how actually one should deal with the other devotee. This is leading his life. Trinada Vishnunisha, Taroryosa, Amani, Kirtanesa. He's aloof from everything of this world. He's there in this world, but not part of this world. Those are exalted personalities. So, one thing we need to have very clear understanding. Srila Prabhupada, his wonderful followers, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, they are our life soul. Please understand. And they are meant to be worshipped. Another very important aspect. Utmost respect, utmost worship. We should be ever grateful to them. Because a couple of days back we had spirit celebrations of our instructing spiritual master. It's a very great festival where he was sharing his heart. Then he told very interesting aspects to introspect, to meditate, to go deeper in the science of Krishna consciousness. He gave a simple example. He said, oh, there is a big home. It's a big palace. A huge palace. Now that palace has a small king. That palace has a small king. When you're seeing the palace from outside, how much time you'll see the palace from outside? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. After that, what do you go? What do? You go. Because you do not have a key for that palace. But if some other person comes and gives the key, he tells, oh, don't worry, come, I'll show you. And he opens the key. Then you got access to what? Access to enter into that palace. Now you're not outside, you're inside. Oh, who gave you that access? A person. A person has a key. That means he's authorized for that, to open that. He's been given that responsibility to have that. I don't have the key to that, but someone else has access to that. That someone else is a spiritual master. That someone else is the acharya. So that spiritual master, they give access to them. Otherwise, if we do not have access to the key, then we stay outside only. If the moment we get the access to the key, then we go inside. Now, why are we telling this is, they do what is, let's say, if we've been thrown into this ocean of nescience. Nescience means ignorance. And you are just swimming, 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 swimming. You don't see a lighthouse. There's no lighthouse. Lighthouse means that's the destination. You're in the ocean, you're just swimming, swimming. How much time you'll swim? Even though you're a great swimmer, can you continue to swim? You'll be tired. And then eventually, if you do not have a destination, you give it up. You don't give it up, we give it up. Now, at that particular moment, a boat comes. And then he says, oh, don't worry, don't worry. Get on this boat. I'll take you to the destination. Now, that person who comes takes us to the destination is the spiritualist. Because if he is not there, then we are lost. If that person is not given the key, we are lost. We don't go inside. We cannot see what's inside. That means we do not get access to that. That means going to Goloka requires access. Going to the spiritual world requires access. That access is given when all the anarthas are removed. That access is given when our consciousness is elevated. That access is given when we are free from all these unwanted things. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. That access is given to that person only, not to anyone else. Because there is a reason for that also. Now, why our Acharya Srila Prabhupada focuses more on getting free from all these unwanted things, materialistic desires, materialistic wants, materialistic needs, materialistic way of living, materialistic way of leading, desires, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara, chanting inattentively. Prabhupada says, inattentive chanting is actually greatest. What is? Inattentive chanting is the greatest obstruction. In what? In Krishna consciousness. Why? Because it keeps us in illusion. Thinking that we are actually devotee, but we are not devotee. Because we are chanting in an illusory state. We're chanting. We're finishing rounds. But inattentive. Inattentive means we are not connected actually. That means we're just chanting, but we are not chanting. We are just hearing, but we are not hearing. That means that hearing should go deep. It should actually change our mentality which is sitting in our heart. The hearing process will actually change. We'll actually think about this. Why is my heart reacting like this? This is a very beautiful devotee. Everyone has good intentions on this devotee, but I do not have good intentions on this devotee. Why is like that? That means the problem is not with that devotee. The problem is with my heart. That means my heart is not right. I am unable to see them nicely. I remember yesterday, Krishna was telling us, it was very interesting. He said at every moment, every interaction which I see or take in this world is actual interaction with the Lord. Every moment, every interaction, every connection, every discussion is actually interacting with the Lord. That means it's the Lord. What does that mean? That it's an interaction with the Lord, it's an interaction with Krishna. How does that perceive? Because it is coming through his mercy. Because when the sadhaka follows the words of the acharyas and the spiritual master, what happens is that sadhaka will actually see the mercy of Krishna. How does he see Krishna? He sees Krishna through his mercy. That means every interaction becomes, or he sees the presence of the Lord. When he sees the presence of the Lord through every interaction, does he ever forget Krishna? No. That means what is happening? Intimacy with the Lord is developing. Intimacy, connection, deeper connection is being establishing with the. Now, what is that indicate? That indicating us that the complacent state which is there, which we are discussing right now. And then now Lord began to speak that Arjuna, don't worry. The first thing he chastised, and then the second thing he started speaking. He started speaking the absolute truth. What is that absolute? Nattunetum jyatvanasam nattuneme janadipaha nachevana bhavishyama sarve vayam mataparam sarve vayam mataparam. Why are you lamenting, Arjuna? Don't lament. These personalities are there in the past, these personalities are there in the present, these personalities will be there in the future. That means, see, dear devotees, he chastised the Arjuna, right? But immediately he's pacifying him by speaking the absolute truth. Just now he chastised. Ashoshan, Anvashoshan. This is the beauty in relationship. He's chastising Arjuna right away, but after the chastisement, he's actually solace and giving him solace, telling that, don't worry, relax. You're telling not to fight? Don't worry. These personalities were there in the past. They'll be there in the present, will be there in the future also. You're just changing their state, their present state. That means you're removing them from this particular body. Why are you worried about that, Arjuna? You don't have to worry, because that means this is the highest pinnacle dharma. He's telling Arjuna doesn't want to do that dharma, but Krishna is telling you should do that dharma. Just like we don't want to give up this material desire, Krishna says give up that material desire. I'm talking to myself again. Just like we don't want to give up this sense gratification. Krishna wants us to give up this sense gratification. Just like Arjuna doesn't want to fight, Krishna wants him to fight. That means exactly Krishna does the opposite. That means anything which is opposite to Maya, that is Krishna, na? Opposite to Maya only is Krishna. See, Krishna and Maya, they're not same. They're not on the same. They're not on same parallel lines. They're on the opposite lines. Please understand. They're completely opposite. That means whatever material nature is telling, Krishna will tell right opposite to them. That's what is happening here. Krishna so mercifully is giving an opportunity. He's telling, don't worry, you're telling that you'll be killing these personalities. No, you're not killing these personalities. Rather, they're already done. They're just changing these bodies. Today in the afternoon also we are discussing. Now this is the beauty actually, staying and then serving together with the devotees. Whenever there is an opportunity, we discuss truth. Actually, we take opportunities to discuss truth. During taking prasad, using the prasad time, we're discussing, oh Prabhu, it's easy to tell that we are not this body but a powerful spirit soul. But rather than telling that, we should actually realize also, na? Realization is important. Telling is okay. Actually, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, Krishna is fully realized. Arjuna is also fully realized. That's why he could actually come to that state of pure goodness. But when we hear the truth from the spiritual master, we should realize that when he says that we are not this body but a powerful spirit soul, we should understand, we should realize that. If you do not have this realization, that means the word will only be a word. It will not change our consciousness or mentality. For example, if you say that we are not this body but a powerful spirit soul, if you are a soul, that means you should not eat for 3 days. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. That means you will realize. That means the moment you do not eat for 3 days, let's say you're only in jala for 3 days. If we are on the bodily consciousness, then what happens is we are continuously thinking, oh, when this 3 day will be finished, when will I drink water, when will I eat gulab jamun, when will I eat this, when will I eat that? That is, what is this? We are there in different state. But we have seen devotees, Srila Prabhupada, for the last 1 month, he was just taking juices. That means it is possible. That means they are aloof from this. They know that they are not this body but a powerful spirit soul. That means what is happening? They are actually manifesting it through the actions. So slowly, what is happening? The consciousness is changing. We are not this. We are with this, but we are not this. As simple as that. We are with this. We will not do this. Because when you sleep, do you think about this body? We don't. You get up, immediately you think about this body. No. You're going to sleep. Do you really think about this body? No. The hands are there, the legs are there. If there's a problem to the hands and leg, then you think about it. Technically, you don't think about that as a requirement. You don't put focus or investment in that. When there's a problem, you do it. This sense we need to understand. When we understand this, what happens is our way of taking the truth will be different, totally different. Very important because the devotees actually we can survive on water for 3-4 days. There's no problem. I'm not asking you to do that. What I'm trying to tell is there might be situations in our life which we have to face, which will be kept in that state. That means we should take some austerities to understand and realize that we're not this body. It's like there is Nirjala Ekadashi, there's Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. You should do full fasting. You should not take anything. Full fast, complete. That means yesterday night, by yesterday evening, let's say today is Nirjala Ekadashi. Yesterday evening by 6 p.m. you should finish prasad. After that, you should not take any grains. Then night you take some milk and then you sleep. And then you get up early in the morning, 3:30, drink water. And then after that, that's it. After 4:30, no water. The next day, whenever the break time, 7 a.m., let's say 7 a.m. That means 4:30 you drink some water. Next day again, 7 a.m. you're drinking water. It's possible. You can do this. And then through this entire day, you be Krishna conscious. Not that you're thinking, oh, when next day will come. What should I do? Should I take cold shower? Should I take hot shower? It's too hot. My throat is. Why these things will come? Because we are not absorbed in Krishna consciousness. When we are absorbed in Krishna consciousness, you don't feel that. You don't feel that you are there with this body. Please understand. You are not. We are not. That is what exactly Krishna is telling here. Nattunetam jatanasu, nattuneme janadipa, nachevana bhavishyama, sarve vayamataparam. Why Arjuna? Don't worry. Likewise, Krishna is telling us, all of us, Tampa devotees, why are we worrying? He's telling me also, why are we all worrying? You don't have to worry. Just accept my words as is. That is the greatest solution in this. That is the greatest solace in this world. Nobody can give solace. Trump cannot give solace. Narendra Modi cannot give solace. Nobody can give solace. Only our acharyas, they can give solace. Only Krishna can give solace. Those are his words, direct words. That means what is this indicating? What is this showing? What is this proving us? That bhakti is a serious business. That means you should do austerities. Tapodiyam putrakayana sattva. That means that austerity should be meant for the pleasure of the Lord. Tapodiyam. That Bhaktaram Yajnadavasa, he is the source of all the austerities. That means he should be given all the benefits, everything, all the austerities are meant for him only. Sarva Lokamaheswaram. When you do that, because he's telling, I am the Bhokta. Because whatever we are doing, it's for him. You're offering the bhog, it's for his pleasure. You made nice gulab jamun, you offer it to the Lord. It's for his pleasure. He should relish it. He should enjoy this. And then through that offering, we depend. Now that is our life. Bhakti means dependence. Bhakti cannot be independent. Independent bhakti is not a bhakti. Independent bhakti is through false ego. It's not through real, true ego. Through false ego, devotion through false ego is not devotion. It's an illusory state. Because false ego will always tell you are a devotee. We know we're not devotee. If you're a devotee, we should see the Lord right away, face to face. We're not seeing Him right away, face to face, but we should at least get the reflections. We should understand our condition, our situation. When attachments are there in our life, what happens is the truth cannot be perceived. And the truth cannot be perceived because through attachments. Attachments are there, that's the truth is not perceived. Because attachments are there, we are not coming to goodness. Attachments are there because we are not seeing the transcendental plane. Because Krishna, Arjuna, through attachment only, he was in a bewildered state. Duryodhana is also having attachment, but he's covering up his attachment. This is more dangerous actually. Arjuna has attachment when he's submitting to Krishna. Krishna have a problem, but Duryodhana has attachment, but he's not submitting. He's covering up. That is the conditional state. In the conditional state, everyone is thinking that I am good, but he's not good. He's thinking that he's good. That's foolishness actually. We're not good, but we're thinking that we are good. Just like Duryodhana, he's not good, but he's thinking he's good. That's why he's kept in a different state, difficult state. He's also covering up his fear by telling Bhishma, though, please blow the conch. We want to show that how superior we are. Blow the conch and blow it nicely. And he's telling we should be all vigilant. Why? Because he's fearful. He's in a fearful state. Sanjaya is informing to Dhritarashtra that Duryodhana is in a complacent, fearful state, is in a state of anxiety. Now, through that anxiety only, he is chastising Dronacharya. Please understand. Through anxiety, what happens is we don't know what we are doing. So many things are done in anxiety only. Duryodhana is putting Dronacharya down. He is not saying, Dronacharya is my teacher. How can I put him down? But through anxiety, what is happening? He's putting him down. That means the mind is very fishy. It won't allow us to take right association. It will tell that's okay. अरे भक्ति आज नहीं कल करेंगे, कल नहीं तो परसों, परसों है ना, अंत कॉलेज है ना, बहुत टाइम है अभी. I have so much time. Oh, Parikshit Maharaj only had 7 days, but I have so much time. Oh, Parikshit Maharaj at least know that he has 7 days, but we don't know. But still, through the complacent state, the material nature will cover up our consciousness and tell that's okay, you have so much time. You are still 40, Baba. You earn until 70. Your 401k should hit $2 million or $3 million. Then you get a home in Florida next to the beach. Then sit in the beach and then drink coconut water. To drink coconut water, you have to do so much. You come to our farm, I'll give you coconut water. You don't have to do all those things. See, life should be very simple. We don't have to complicate our life. Bhakti is for simplicity. It's not for complications. Very simple. Devotion is simple. We don't have to do any big things in this world to maintain ourselves. Papa says, right? Simple living, high thinking. We should keep this in our consciousness in the background. Now I'll tell something. Now we work so hard for our children. Do you think that the children will take care of you later? You invest so much on them. No, not only that, you give so much properties to them. Now they use all the properties for sense gratification. No, don't you get karmic reactions through that? Definitely will. That means what are we doing? Unnecessarily wasting our valuable human form of time, human form of life. This is what I think. Unnecessarily wasting a valuable human form of life and spending so much money, investing so much on them. And then after that, they kick us on the back. Is it not? Is it not there? If they are not fully Krishna conscious, they'll kick us for sure. Because this is the material nature. Material nature will kick. Because what is happening is Who will come as the children? Our enemies only will come as children. Because we have associated with them before also. Please understand. So these things do come into consideration. We should be free from all these iniquities. Life is meant to be taken very practically. Chitraketu Maharaj was actually seen that. His son will tell that, I am your enemy last life. You are very happy killing me. And then now when I die, in this life you are lamenting. So funny. Last life you were joyful when I was killed. And then now you are lamenting. Hare, what is this state? Why are you lamenting? Why are you in this state? Wow. This life story lesson from Bhagavatam is the greatest shelter. Now another life lesson is there in Bhagavatam. If one is not Krishna conscious, not making his children Krishna conscious, he should never become a father, he should never become a mother. That lesson is also there. On one side, Bhagavatam is telling your son might be an enemy. On the other side, Bhagavatam is telling you have great responsibility. That you should be Krishna conscious, your children should also be Krishna conscious. If you are not Krishna conscious, your children are not Krishna conscious, then you are not doing your dharma. That means whatever we do in our so-called dharma in this world, what is that yielding? That is not yielding anything in this world. Because if that dharma is not bringing us closer to Krishna consciousness, then that is no existence. So Krishna here wanted to bring Arjuna from this complacent state, from this depressed state, from this so-called anxiety state to anxiety-free state. How? By speaking the absolute truth. How? Through relationship. So Krishna is telling, whoever feels that relationship, they will understand the absolute truth. How? Bhakto sime sakachete rahasam hetum uttamam. Chittum dorati dharmartha. Kaunte prajanati namay bhakta pranashi. He is also telling, my devotee will never perish. Arjuna, you boldly declare. And he is also telling, Bhakto sime sakachete. As you are my friend, that's why I am telling you. That means we should actually feel that relation with the Lord. We should actually feel the relation with our acharyas. As I am your dasa, 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 dasa. You are my master. You tell me, I'll do whatever. I'll do my best. Because you are my best. I don't want to enjoy myself by gratifying the senses. I'm not here for that. I'm here for something else. No, that is the real thing. Real thing is bhakti. Nothing else will come in this world. Only bhakti will come. Whatever bhakti we have done in this life, that will only carry. That will only come. Not only that, our papa also will be carried. But when you do bhakti fully, then there is no papa. When you do bhakti fully, if there is no papa, then you go back to Godhead. This we need to insist and understand. Life is full of beautiful assets. Every person, they have their own understanding. You know how this Guru Parampara is so beautiful? The Guru Parampara is so beautiful because Guru Parampara doesn't propagate our so-called understandings. Guru Parampara propagates the understandings of the Lord. Because our understandings are limited. But the understandings of the Lord is eternal. That's why we discuss Gita. That's why we discuss the purpose of Srila Prabhupada. Through Gita, through the shloka, we are remembering the Lord. Through the purport, we are remembering the sacrifices of our acharyas. We are able to connect to His heart. We are able to correlate with Him. We are able to go deeper into one's consciousness. And that becomes devotion. So how gratitude is manifested in one's consciousness? This is how gratitude is manifested. How? By seeing their sacrifice. by seeing the mercy which they have received from their spiritual master. Feel grateful to them. Prabhupada, every person was rejecting him continuously again and again and again and again. And that's okay, that's okay. We don't want this, we don't want this. We don't have money to take your magazines. Please go away, please go away. But he was not rejected because he was connected fully. That is Bhakti. This you need to understand. This is important, dear devotees. We should check our consciousness, we should check our heart. So Bhakti is not only. I'll stop here. I'll see if anyone would like to add anything. Otherwise, we'll stop it here. Please understand, Bhakti can be perceived in relationship. It's a great example. Duryodhana couldn't perceive because there is no relation. Bhakta same as Saka Chete. Rahasyam. Duryodhana is not a Saka to Krishna. Duryodhana is outside. Arjuna is inside. That's why Arjuna was able to go inside the palace. Our spiritual master will open the key for us so that we can go inside. And then practice Krishna consciousness. Likewise, Krishna opened up the key to Arjuna, not to Duryodhana. Because Duryodhana was not in that state to accept. Krishna has a relationship with the Lord, with Arjuna. That's why he's putting his hand, telling, don't worry, I'm here. But not Duryodhana. Likewise, if we don't feel that connection, we cannot understand it. That means through connection, through the absolute truth only, we can really perceive the truth. Just like Krishna is beginning to tell the absolute truth now. Not Tunayatam Jatanasam. That means this immediately should kick into our consciousness that we are there, we'll be there. We'll be there, we were there in the past, we are there in the present, we'll be there in the future. See, the mentality is coming from the previous life only. We might not remember the details, but the mentality is coming from previous life. For example, let's say one is fearful, but mentality is there from his previous life, in this life. You need to understand. I'll stop here. Thank you all very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanava Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada. Thank you for the wonderful
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
and thank you for the wonderful bhajan from Silas Prabhuji. Would anybody like to add any questions or comments before I do the Prantwani?